fight with the doctors that I want to
In his house in the New York region of Long Island, Ken George takes out the box of medications he uses every day, 32 of them to be precise. He's a 9/11 first responder. He has lung and heart disease and post-traumatic stress disorder.
The small medicines, you know, I got, you know, it's funny. I got pills to go to sleep, pills to wake up, which I don't sleep. You can ask her, I'm up until all hours of the night. And then when I do doze off for like the 2 hours, it's in a nightmare state. You know, I wake up like screaming and stuff like that. And that's what I did.
On September the 11th, Ken, who worked for the Department of Transportation, responded for work, a work which would see him searching and digging out ground zero for the next 9 months. His health situation caused him to retire in 2006. He's 47 years old.
They called it a cleanup operation. Then it was, I seen the fires, I seen the dead body parts. I helped pick them up and bring them to the morgue, the makeshift morgue. I seen the buildings burning. You know, I seen the toxin air that I call the gates of hell. That's what I call it.
Like many other 9/11 responders, Ken developed lung and respiratory problems almost immediately. Others developed cancer. Doctors have confirmed his illnesses are a direct result of his work in Ground Zero. Today, almost 1,000 9/11 responders have died, and it's estimated that over 15,000 are sick. Ken says that unlike families of 9/11 victims, there has been little financial compensation. He argues responders are paying an unfair price for 9/11.
It was an act of war. They came over here, attacked us, and we all went down there. You know, we did the right thing. We went there to help our fellow Americans out. I mean, don't you think they should help us out, our own government, with something? You know, we're not asking for millions and millions of dollars. You're just asking enough money to pay for the medicine and to make sure that your family's not out in the street. Is that too much to ask for? When you spend how much money in a war?
This is Ground Zero today. Gone are the Twin Towers and the horrors Ken and other 9/11 responders witnessed 10 years ago. A memorial is set to open on the 10th anniversary of September the 11th. Reflecting pools stand where the towers once were. The names of the victims are engraved on the sides. Victims of what most Americans saw as an act of war by al-Qaeda, an act which has changed and shaped United States politics ever since, and one which continues to cost the country and the world, both in terms of human loss and financial burden. Jeff Coombs was on the plane which crashed into the North Tower. The flight had originated from Boston, where today, not far, in their home in Massachusetts, his widow, Christy, shows the family portrait taken just 1 week before his death.
Island, which is where his parents live. And 9/11 changed my life in every way imaginable. You know, first and foremost, it made me a widow, and it took away my kid's father. And it changed our family. It changed the way we look at life every day. We had to accept Jeff's death. There was no way around that. We had to accept the publicness of it because of the way he died. There was just no way around that. And we could either do it by staying in our houses, living in the black hole of grief, and just being angry the rest of our lives, or we could dig ourselves out of that black hole and we could find a way to turn something very dark and very negative into something positive.
Something positive is the Massachusetts Military Heroes Fund, which Christy co-founded with another 9/11 widow. Its aim is to help military families who have lost loved ones in Afghanistan or Iraq, or who are struggling financially either because of injuries, illnesses, or lost income. Christy says in a strange way she felt responsible for soldiers who fought in the post-9/11 wars. She says their struggle is far from over.
The war on terror it's been a rough 10 years, and you know, nobody knows that more than the families who've lost their loved ones, the more than 5,000 service members who've died. But you know, what I always tell people is, whether or not you believe we should be there or not, you have to support the military, and not just say you support them, but find an active way to support them. And I just look forward to the day when all of them are brought home.
One soldier who will never be brought home is Seth Dvorn, who was killed in Iraq in 2004. His mother, Sue Niederer, lives in New Jersey, not far from New York. She blames the government and army recruiters. She says soldiers are often ill-prepared to face wars in Afghanistan or Iraq. They also don't get help when they come home. Since September the 11th, it's estimated that some 5 million men and women have served in the U.S. military. And while she appreciates the support from 9/11 widows like Christy Coombs, she wants recognition for what she lost from 9/11, her son.
They're not even being acknowledged. They're being acknowledged in an offhand way. Basically, the press is going to be focusing on 9/11 and the victims of 9/11 in the Twin Towers, okay? Yes, 3,000 lives were lost. That's true. That's a tragedy. But the 9/11, you've got the towers going up. What's the cost factor? Anybody know the cost factor in these memorials? I resent it. I think most of us do, who have lost children or have children fighting. You're spending all of this money, again, which could be allocated back into this country to support the soldiers who are doing the fighting. But yet you're going to put up tons and tons and tons of memorials to 9/11. Where are your tons and tons of memorials to the victims of this 9/11 soldiers?
What's going on?
Ken George and John Devlin are close friends. They even call themselves brothers. Like Ken, John is a 9/11 first responder. Today he has stage 4 throat cancer, which is inoperable. Last December, the U.S. Congress approved a bill worth over $4 billion to compensate some responders, but not those who have cancer. John says between chemotherapy and radiation treatments, his medical bill last year was about $1 million.
This is from my cancer doctor. This is from the doctor that runs the monitoring program that is government funded for us, the World Trade Center monitoring program. This is my ears, nose, and throat doctor, all saying that in their opinion, cancer was from ground zero. So right there, if my state government recognizes that I got cancer from ground zero, why isn't my federal government doing it? I have the answer. The answer is money. We went down there as volunteers. We didn't have to go down there. It wasn't getting done unless people like me, Ken George, went down there as patriots. I went down there. No one told me to. I called my union and said, I'm going. I'll be there. No, we went down there to help all those people out. We need to be at least recognized. You need to recognize the people that actually went down there and did it that day, and did it for those 9.5 months.
Recognition, compensation, remembrance. A small price to pay for those who will continue to bear the cost of September the 11th long after the visual scars have been washed away.